Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'll tell you all the place where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, WMVA 88.9 FM studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to 1350 AM, 1400am.com, click on to church webcast, and guess what? You can see us live, hear us live all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's Friday. What you mean, my neighbor?
It's Fun Friday at that. We want to welcome our neighbors. We want to welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WMVA 88.9 FM. Good morning to you.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Welcome, Sheila Robbins. We got other folk up here, Mr. E. We have Iris Bynum. Wow, thank you all for joining us. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We promise we will shout you out.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise we'll shout you out. Did we mention Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram?
Are we on that too?
We're there as well. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe on those platforms. And we promise we'll shout you out.
You shout them out?
Every time.
Shut up.
Absolutely. Look, don't forget to go over to YouTube at Cristo Records 1, CRISTO Records 1, or FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. We need the numbers and we would love to have you on that platform.
That's right.
Mr. E is Fun Friday.
Why did the chicken cross the street?
Anyway, it's good to be here. We don't want to talk. Well, listen, Mr. E, we don't want to talk about chickens. You got any other jokes?
Well, why did the squirrel cross the street?
No crossing the street jokes. Mr. E, we get ready to send you to be mentored by a really great comedian.
Do you have one in mind?
I do. I'm not going to reveal their name, but we're going to send you there so you can come back with some real good Fun Friday jokes.
I'll come back with them long as they're funny.
They can't be no worse than the chicken.
Why?
That's so old school, bro.
Okay, here's one. What goes up and what never comes down?
Woo! I tell you what, Mr. E, we're going to have to get somebody else in here to do the jokes. But anyway, we're going to have a good time, a good laughing time, fun time.
That's right.
You all join us because we got a great topic. This is Fun Friday. It's the weekend. What you going to do this weekend?
And I just got paid.
Oh, you ready to spend some money?
No.
You got to.
No.
All right, then.
No.
I tell you what, Mr. E, you enjoy your weekend. I just plan on having a great, relaxing time. The weather is going to be fantastic.
We're supposed to have a little rain the weekend too, aren't we?
I don't know about the rain, but if it does come, that's fine with me too. But our temperatures are going to be in the 70s
That's
and
right.
80s
That's right.
for a minute, and we're going to sit back and enjoy God's wonderful, wonderful weather.
That's right. It's going to be in the 80s today. What a beautiful day it's going to be today. 10% chance of rain. So, just get ready, set. And that's that time of the year.
Absolutely. But this is FYI's Fun Friday segment. What's in your closet? Issues concerning women.
I like that.
I
Issues
tell you,
concerning, I like it.
why do you like that so much? I notice you get a really good, smile on your face when it comes to talking about women and our issues and things that we do.
See, because the thing about it, women know so much about men.
We sure do.
Everybody, mom and daddy, talk about the brotherhood. So every time I hear nuggets,
Nuggets to do what?
Prepare me for them women. They're moody. They change their attitude. They do this. They do that. They smart and they slick. They slide. They do a whole lot.
Just
Women
like
got it
y'all.
going on, and they just a carbon copy of us.
Well, Mr. E, I'm going to give you some nuggets today. I think you're going to enjoy this. Our topic is why and how women spy on men.
Women don't spy on men.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. You ain't gonna tell
me. And they
me.
should.
You ain't gonna tell me that women spy on men.
And they should.
Why?
But we're going to talk first of all about the why. First thing I want to know, are women automatically nosy? Listen now, nosy? Are they instinctive? Do they have discernment, or they just private eyes? What do you think? Is it all of the above, or what is it about us that we just got to get the tea on folks?
Two out of three, you're right.
What's wrong with the other one? What's the other?
No, they nosy for one.
Okay.
And they private eyes.
Are you saying it don't have anything to do with our instinct? I bet you it does.
That instinct and the discernment, it doesn't have nothing to do with it. I mean, they just plain long nosy, and they got private eye skills.
Well, we're going to talk about why, first of all. And let's see if we learn something from the whys. You all can Google this information. We do our research, and from Gemini, we've got some information. And you all can go up there and check it out yourself.
That's right.
It says it is a complex issue with no single answer. So when I ask that question, why and about our instincts and things like that, it says it's not a single answer. As motivations can vary greatly from woman to woman, there are some potential reasons why a woman might spy on a man.
And those simple reasons are insecurity and trust issues.
Insecurity.
You
think that women that spy are insecure? This is the thing. Lack of trust. She may have had negative past experiences in relationships, leading to a general lack of trust in men or partners.
I think that when you find somebody new that comes into your life, all that old stuff must disappear.
Mm-mm.
Because sometimes you put that old stuff, put that label of that new man with that old label. Sometimes you got that's why products on your shelf change the labels every now and then. Aunt Jemima got rid of the one with Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima got rid of the lady on the pancake box with the scarf on her head.
Yeah, after 100 years. But listen, insecurity. She might feel insecure about herself or the relationship and seek reassurance by monitoring her partner.
Right. She
feels insecure. She may feel. See, this is the thing. See, I think there's one thing that you're missing, Mr. E. We're not going to talk about it that much. But she is insecure for a reason. She's just not walking around insecure. Somebody has done something wrong, and she is reacting to that.
It's just like you said in the first. Past hurt. She has not got over her past hurt.
Oh, past hurts, past betrayal.
Yeah.
Or she may be just a person like that's a PI, and she, Want to know just what she want to know. Okay, it says fear of abandonment. Sometimes she could be afraid of losing her partner and might be looking for signs that confirm or deny these
That's
fears.
right, because something could have happened to her early in her life. And now that she's moving on and find a Mr. Right, a guy that treat us real good, and hoping that the other cat would treat her real, was supposed to treat her real good. Now he has offended her. Now, and now she's looking and she cannot deal with somebody treating her
Well, what if
nice.
this is her first time at the rodeo? She may just say, "Oh, I'm getting some red flags." This is some of the things that happen. Suspicion.
You know, the thing about
Suspected infidelity. If she suspects her partner is cheating, she may spy to find evidence or put her mind at
You
ease.
know, Miss Cynthia, when you said that it brings up something. It could be a family matter. Daddy could have cheated on mama, mama, and it could have happened. And
Yeah.
now she's bringing it over to her relationship.
Well, we mentioned distrust.
Change her behavior.
Okay, a change of behavior. If she sees him acting differently, being secretive, or changes his routine, those could be red
That
flags.
could be red flags because, what is he doing that for? Why is he doing
Why is he doing that? Why is he changing? Is he
that?
changing for any good
It
reason?
could be changing for the best.
What about his habit of or a person's habit of just maybe telling tales, lying, or obviously out there just being a little reckless. She has cause to be suspicious and things like that.
Well,
Um,
she might have cause to be suspicious, but why is she suspicious? What
we
brought
just said
on
so.
what brought on this suspicious? What brought that mess on? If he haven't done anything, or and it could be the company that she keep. It could have been her girlfriends, that could be going through something that causing her to feel that kind of way. It could be something that she may be experiencing that caused her to feel insecurity.
Of course. I mean, there are plenty of reasons, Mr. E, why women are just, feeling like there's something wrong here. And I'm not saying she's doesn't have issues. She may be the type of person that, like you said, she's just wired to be, suspicious, insecure. She's wired to, think about past hurts. We mentioned that. She just there may be evidence, that she needs to go a mile away. Do you think women should spy on men,
Well,
Mr. E?
I mean that's a trust factor. I don't think
I
a
didn't
woman.
ask you that.
I
I
don't think a
asked you, do
woman
you
should
think?
spy on a
God,
man for what reason. Be
what,
honest.
what,
Be
what would
honest.
be wrong with it, though?
It would be a whole lot. That'd be a distrustful on his behalf, not thinking that you trust him. So now you got to go. That's irritating to have somebody spying on
What if
you.
you don't have anything to hide? You don't mind. But
But
we'll talk about
but
that in a
see, if
minute.
you don't have anything to hide, it's okay. But the thing about it is, why are you spying on me?
Absolutely. Here's some more control and manipulation.
Right?
Need for control in some cases. It says spying can be a way for someone to feel in control of their partner's life and action. And then you have manipulation. You want to information gathered through spying could be used to manipulate or exert power over the partner. We talked about past experiences, previous betrayals. If she has been betrayed in the past relationship, she might be hyper vigilant and project those experiences into her current partner. Now, that is a problem.
Yeah.
If you got a good person and, has come into your life and you can't get past yourself, if he moves a piece of paper, why are you moving that paper?
Or
What's
because
on that paper?
that's right. That's right. That's insecurity. That's all falls in the category that you are so insecure that you think somebody's doing you wrong. So now you're going to take the liberty. You got to stop looking at these soap operas, the edge of night, and search for the ma and as the world turn. Because if you continue to look at these soap operas, you're going to find yourself in a whole heap of trouble.
But it says manipulation and gathering information. This is so funny. I can imagine a woman look just getting her tea. Hey, going to family members and doing all kind of things to say, where you been? I think you're doing some things, and I think you need to go out there and cut the grass because I'm gonna punish you because your auntie manipulation and control. I think you better go and do the dishes or do something. Take care of the baby. I'm going out tonight because I'm feeling like you doing something. I found out you doing something wrong. Manipulation, control. Sometimes that takes place, Mr. E. Also, I mean, it says this, and I hate to say this one. Mental health concerns.
That's right. See, that's why you got to know who you label with. You got to know your partner. You got to know from the inside and out. And if your partner had, let's say you had previous marriages, or if you had a previous boyfriend and he promised you the world, he might have been the first guy that took you out to the prom when you was at high school.
Mm-hmm.
And you figured that he was your knight in shiny armor. And you figured that everybody must be like him. Or if you got a television husband, some people look at television and say that America must run like this. This is the ideal man. And but you got to remember, you the one who chose this person to be your husband and your wife.
Well, let's get back to some of the things that a woman sees that they think he's doing something. He starts changing. First of all, if he may be a blue collar worker, come home dirty and stanky and all, go in and go to bed. All of a sudden, he coming in with 3-piece suits on and wouldn't got him a Ferrari and smelling good and still not taking you nowhere. What you think a woman should do? You think she's gonna say? What is she gonna say?
Well,
what is she gonna ask? She gonna start getting and looking in phones and carrying on.
And she gonna feel something ain't right. You see, there's the old cliche that they say, the same thing it took to get that woman, you got to do the same thing.
I'm saying he's not that. He is not that. All of a sudden, he's changing.
Yeah,
he's coming with suits, or he's changing his outfits, and he's going on Shein and start ordering.
Well, you got to remember this, Hinton, because maturity starts. Everybody wants to stop that role of doing I used to get so sick and tired of I do now, get sick and tired of seeing men when they get off work, they still got their work uniform on. They go to the grocery store, got their work uniform on. They come home and sit around the house on the front porch, still got their work uniform on. So if they change their clothes, it's okay.
No. I'm saying they make a change. They used to be around there. So, y'all know what I'm talking about. Mr. E, open the phone line, see if anybody want to say, tell us whether or not they spy. They eye spy. They're a private eye.
So they change the telephone number to dial is 757-624-9475. So if brother man come home and start changing, and he put on some cologne, he been wearing it, and put on some gold around his neck and rings everywhere. And then all of a sudden, the first thing your instinct kicks in and say he's doing something out there. Why he can't hang out with the boys?
What in the world, Mr. E? If a man after 20 years is
757
looking like a
757-624-9475. That's the number to dial. You can put your 2 cents in worth in it, but that still does not allow. She ought to be able to know her man.
But listen to this. We're going to talk about this. Mental health concerns, anxiety or paranoia is in some situations. Anxiety or paranoia tendencies could drive someone to spy on their partner.
Well,
let's talk about it.
I'm lost for words. I still go back to the beginning. Insecurity and lack of trust.
Okay, I'll give you that. So it's important to know spying is generally considered a violation of privacy, ladies, and can severely damage trust in a relationship.
That's right. It'll mess your trust up if the man decided that he wants to change his garments and he wants to look a little cleaner than what he normally would come home to do. That does not mean if he feels that he wants to get out and go hang out with the boys, and he tell you, I'm going to hang out with the boys, and give you that opportunity to say, hey, come on, let's go out. If you that type of woman that says, I don't want to go nowhere, I want to sit around.
Well, what if she want to go somewhere?
But if she wants to go and he asks her, come on, let's go, then she ought to go ahead and get her garments on and go along with him.
Okay, women, do you think you should spy on your man? You know, it is a violation of privacy.
They ain't going to answer that.
Women, let me know, even in the chat, what do you think? Do you think you should get your I spy skills?
757-624-9475. Women, should you spy on your man? Or do you trust him enough to not to get you some cameras and some what you call them, tracking device that you put?
Well, now let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we spy. How we spy on you guys. Okay, it's important to understand that spying on someone, okay, without their knowledge or consent, we just said it, raises significant ethical and privacy concerns. These actions can seriously damage trust and relationships.
That's right.
And may even have legal consequences.
That's right.
Building open and honest communication is always a healthier and more respectful approach.
However,
in any relationship. However, if you're curious about that kind of tactic, people might use, even though, look, we don't endorse it now, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Here are some general categories, keeping in mind that these can be employed by anyone, regardless of gender. Okay, direct observation and eavesdropping.
That's right, eavesdropping. You know,
tipping around the house,
tipping. You know, tippy-toe in the room where he at. He's in
following him to work.
That's spying. You know, he might be on, hey man, what's going on? He whispering, he real slow. You go to the door, put your ear to the door, get you a cup put on the wall. So
that's right, listening in, overhearing conversations,
right.
Either remotely or, you know, in person. You tiptoeing around, you know, discreetly tracking someone. I know a young lady that tracked her husband, put a device under his car, and then it led her to the crime.
Well, you know, why would you? You know, the thing about it is, you know, you should be able to understand. You should be able to talk to him. Dolly Parton had a song. Stand by your man.
You are gonna stand by.
See, the same thing it took you to get that man. You got to continue to do that. You cannot put nobody else the cart before the mule. You got to continue to let your man be the eyes focused on, you know, in your relationship. You can't put John Boy and them babies in front of him. You can't put your mom and your daddy in front of him. You got to continue to stay focused on him.
All right, so look, ladies, I just told you that, you know, technology is a big key in this day and time, being a good PI. Okay, so listen, Mr. E, checking devices. Go ahead, Mr. E, go ahead, and you can open the phone.
757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. If you want to put your 2 cents in, you can.
Should a woman spy on her man? Okay, so using technology. That is a privacy issue, of course, but hey, that's one of the best tools around, Mr. E. Checking devices, looking through phones, computers, or tablets for messages, call logs, photos, or browsing.
Just give her the phone. Look, just turn it over.
Social media is another good way.
Just say you don't trust him.
On that man. Listen, Mr. E. Going to the profile.
That's right.
Going to your man's profile.
And seeing all the people that
you know, one thing about social media,
it ain't real.
It is real. People tell too much. And you can find so much information about a person by just going to their profile. They tell everything.
757-624-9475. Ladies or men, give us a call. Should a woman spy on her man? 757-624-9475. Go to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Speak up, please.
Yes, hi. I don't think that a woman has to do that spy on a man, because if you have God first, he is the one that's sitting high and looking low.
That's right.
Well, wouldn't God tell her that he was cheating? Would God, the Lord, will reveal?
Yes, it's one word trying to spy on your husband. Don't wear yourself out.
Thank Thank you so much.
Well, what about look, Miss E? You know that's fine and good, but what if it is something just come up? Something. What if something just come up? All of a sudden, you see a pair of socks that you haven't seen.
Oh,
It
no.
don't belong to you. A pair of socks.
Pair of who socks? It
A
could.
woman's socks.
Where it gonna be at? In the house?
It could be anywhere. We're not going to say.
Do you
but
have-
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Let's go to the phone line. Good
Good
morning.
morning. We want to know, do we have the right to spy on you men?
757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. Do you have the right? No, you don't have the right. That shows insecurity. And like the caller just said, let the Lord fight your battle. God got him.
What if, you know, like I said, there are some things that come up. There are some signs, you know, somebody dropped some bird crumbs and it's going to lead you to.
Or somebody that came and
to the
gave you
crime.
some information.
That's
And
the-
you believe in the folks that, you know, that when you're supposed to separate yourself and believe in your mate, 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. Give us a call.
All right. Now, look, here's some more things. We just talked about tracking devices. But what about hidden cameras or recording devices? Hidden cameras or recording devices, placing these in personal spaces. Well, you know, that's a violation too. But hey, sometimes people, you know, put the monitor in the baby room, see what, you know, what the babysitter do. You know, it's a whole lot of things that women will do. Now, listen, whether it's right or wrong, women do it. That's what we're saying. But should you do it? You know, also, Mr. E, you got social manipulation using mutual friends, asking those questions, you know, getting that tea, going to the mama-in-law's house or best friend house, sitting there and saying, yeah, yeah, he just, you know, that's kind of unusual. And mom, you know, she gonna spill the beans now. She gonna tell certain things. And so, you know, you got friends that will, you know, especially men. Men can tell on men in a minute.
That's right. Especially when they're envy of that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, men have a tendency of telling on each other. So that's why, and women, they talk a lot. And you can be dealing with somebody else that's not in the same boat with you. Sometimes that's how relationships get torn apart, because you trusting in Lottie Mae's word and Dottie Mae word. You trusting other folks instead of trusting your man.
All right, so let's go through some of these things real quick. Social manipulation, using mutual friends, creating scenarios, setting up situations to test someone. Ooh. Playing on emotions, using guilt, seduction or honey traps, you know, using charm or romantic interest to gain trust and extract information. Oh, wow. And also deception, asking indirect questions, phrasing questions to get information without revealing the intent, without getting, you know, finding out, revealing the intent. Pretending to share interests, engage in activities, or you know, just trying to pull somebody into, you know, what they're doing, you know, and creating false identities or scenarios, going on social media, or you know, making calls and things like that, pretending to be somebody else. Rhonda A. Driver says, "Good morning, guys. You probably shouldn't do it, and the fact that you even want to do it is a clear sign that he has not made you feel safe. Men do it. They just don't share with anyone that they are spying. Men do it, Mr. E. You didn't tell me that.
Well, we got to we see. This is not what the subject matter is all about. It never fails that women can't. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. That's what the old folks used to say. This segment is about women spying on men.
You don't want us to talk about you guys.
No, you talk about men so much. See, the thing about it is we allow women to have a clear slate. Women has clear slate, and then women go behind and talk to people, and you figure she ain't gonna talk to nobody. And I saw him, and you failed to realize because somebody said they saw him, and he worked his job tight. You forget all about what kind of work he does and what does he do. If he's got a clientele, a salesman, or whatever it may be, that does not mean that man is he's selling business. He's making the ends meet. Stop it. If folks stop distrusting folk, if you stop listening to the wrong people, and let like the caller said, let the Lord guide.
Let the Lord show you his
That's
wicked
right.
ways.
Let the Lord show you his right and wrong. Then if you got it from the Lord, then you got concrete evidence, because you cannot go to no person. Well, girl, I saw Johnny May over there.
Look, the self-esteem queen said, "Don't do us like that, Mr. E.
You know y'all.
Don't throw us under the bus. We're talking about y'all right now,
Y'all
bro.
know y'all as slick as y'all got more mess. Women got y'all got more mess with y'all, and especially when it comes to my girlfriend. My girlfriend told me, and she ain't even got a man.
Everybody doesn't spy, but ladies, make sure you don't go overboard. Make sure you don't go overboard. This self-esteem queen said we are not. That's not how we are. So I tell you what, we do good, but I tell you what, sometimes those flags go up, and we got to go the second mile. Mr. E, we got to go the extra mile to find out what y'all doing.
And that's if you feel as if something is not right. Sometimes you got to go to the doctor yourself. Women need to go get self-checked too. Mental illness and can set in. You can be a part of family matters. Mom and daddy had some problems, and sister had a problem over there, and now you want to bring that same old problem to your house. It looked like he did the same thing John did to my sister. Well, you bring that problem. You leave that mess outside your house where you can have a happy home.
I tell you what, she said, LOL, I'm sorry, you're right. However, the coach in me that's seen both sides can come out. Forgive me, Mr. E.
I know. See, but the thing about it is, and it's a great subject, because we always put the man in the background, like he's spying. He figures something ain't right. You got to remember, men are territorial, and so if they feel that something is not gelling right, then they don't know how to come to you and ask you the question. They beat around the bush. But when you start putting tracking devices on folk and cameras in here, and when you start showing up places that you don't normally be, then and then you start trying to pick and choose and pick a fight when you trying to find it's because somebody else bought you some news. Go to that person. Here's what you ought to do. When somebody bring you some news, bring that somebody that bought you the news to your husband.
Ooh.
Bring it. If that person that you trust is the right person. If y'all folk who gonna live by the sword, the word of God, leave your mama and your daddy and the rest of them no good folk that you hang around with. Leave them alone and cleave to your husband. You ought to know your man.
All you got to do is get his password. If he don't have anything to hide, he'll give you the password, or he'll give you all the inside scoop on what he's doing. You can go anywhere, see him. You come to the job anytime you want to. He will let you know that he can be trusted. But
That's
honey,
right.
when
That's
they
right.
start, don't want to, you can't, when they start putting the phone under the mattress at night, putting it on low volume and all that stuff, and they creeping in the living room while you snoring, they have to do a little PI work.
And if you suspect anything, you ought to be able to sit down at your dinner table.
I like that.
And dialogue with him. Say, honey, I feel some kind of way. Can you help clear the air? Communication goes a long ways. If you big enough to carry a bone, the wrong bone, then you ought to be able to sit there and help lick the bone, so that y'all can get the marrow out of the bone. But do not, ladies, listen to me well. Do not set yourself up for failure. That's what you're doing. You setting yourself up to go to the divorce court. Setting yourself up to lose your husband, because if you can't stand by your man, there's somebody else out there. There's more fish in the sea.
I tell you what, Mr. E, and we're going to talk about this on our FYI After Dark. We're going to talk about relationship. We're going to bring all this up, and we're going to have plenty of time to talk about it. We'll let you know when that happens. Look, you all have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be beautiful here in the Hampton Roads area. We're going to see you Monday for Monday Sports Talk.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show. Don't forget to join us Monday for Sports Talk right here on WPCE, WGPL, WMVA, Peace 95.3 and all social media network. Have a wonderful day, okay? Bye now.
Wow. I tell you what, please join us for Hot Topics. We're going to be on our FYI After Dark. Look, we got these upcoming shows. We have Jason Baker coming on talking about cryptocurrency. If you all are interested in knowing about Bitcoins and all that stuff, our FYI After Dark show on Monday will be fire. Also, don't forget Sports Talk. Hey, look, did you all get a chance to look at the NFL drafts?
That's right.
Mr. E, they were fire.
They was fire.
What
and guess
happened?
what? The Dallas Cowboys
Who did
got
they
one
get?
of the greatest defensive back guard in the world. That's from Alabama, Mr. Tyler Booker.
Oh, wow. That's right, Booker. Oh,
That's
my
right.
goodness. How you feel? You feel good about that,
I
Mr.
feel
E?
real good about it.
I tell you what, we're going to talk about that on Monday Sports Talk. Mr. Darrell A. Cross, thank you so much for joining us. And all you all that are on that we don't see, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. Upcoming shows, Jason Baker on the 28th, Monday, FYI After Dark, cryptocurrency. Also Wednesday, immigration. We have John Vasquez. He's going to be here with us. Listen, immigration and deportation. Please join us for that show. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. And I want to make this announcement before we go. Pizza and the Dialogue, April the 30th, for parents, for youth groups, or church groups that want to come out and talk and dialogue and eat some pizza and find out what kids are talking about. They're going to dialogue with one another. So you all, please, please, please join us. Also, you can be a special guest, internal sponsor on FYI Radio Show. Mr. E's going to give you that information.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor, intern of the most talked about radio show, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Also, Mr. E's going to be bringing around the town community information. Can't wait for that. You all continue to join us. And again, we'll be back here on Fun Fridays for our women's issues. Woo! Look, you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here on Monday.
2 up, 2 down, BA.